Hello and welcome, friends. I'm so glad you're here today. Before we dive in, if you care about staying sharp, strong, and energized as you age, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more people who need this message. And let me know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? I love seeing this community grow across the globe. Now, today we're talking about something simple but deeply powerful. Fudui birth, specifically the right foods for adults over 60 who want to live longer, feel better, and avoid the chronic fatigue, brain fog, and muscle loss that so often show up with age. We're talking zero carb, zero sugar superfoods, not fads, not pills, not trends, but real strategic foods that nourish your body on a cellular level. Here's the truth. As we age, our bodies become less forgiving. We lose muscle more easily, our insulin sensitivity drops, inflammation sneaks in, and the typical modern diet loaded with processed carbs, sugars, and oils only makes things worse. So if you've been feeling like your energy dips, your mind's not as clear, or your strength isn't what it used to be, this video is for you, because the right nutrition can flip that script. We'll cover the best foods that stabilize energy, protect your brain, feed your muscles, and extend your health span, not just lifespan. Let's get started. Let's start with a food that might surprise you. Liver. Now, I know just saying the word makes some people cringe. It's got a strong taste, a strange texture, and some serious stigma. But let me ask you this. What if I told you that just a few bites of liver a week could dramatically boost your energy, mood, sleep, and even protect your brain and heart? Because it can. Liver, especially grass-fed beef liver, is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. It's packed with natural folate, not the synthetic folic acid added to processed foods, plus B6 and B12, a powerful trio that supports DNA repair, brain health, and heart function. If you're dealing with fatigue, cognitive decline, low mood, or even anemia, chances are you're not getting enough of these nutrients. Now, yes, it takes a bit of courage to make liver a part of your routine, but once you do, the payoff is huge. Just 2 to 3 ounces once or twice a week can fill nutrient gaps that would otherwise require a pile of pills. And if you absolutely can't stomach the taste, desiccated liver capsules are an option, but real food is always better if you can manage it. From liver, we move to something much more beloved. Avocados. These are a zero sugar, zero starch superfood that brings together heart-healthy fats, brain-supporting fiber, and critical minerals like magnesium, and potassium, which are often lacking in older adults. One medium avocado delivers nearly 20 grams of monounsaturated fat, chowing mostly oleic acid, which supports cell membrane function and lowers inflammation. Avocados also improve how your body absorbs nutrients. Add them to a salad, and you multiply your absorption of carotenoids like lutein and beta-carotene, essential for your vision and brain health. And with 13 to 14 grams of fiber, mostly soluble and insoluble, they feed your gut microbiome in a way that supports digestion, immune health, and even mood regulation. Plus, here's a big one. Avocados help blunt blood sugar spikes. They slow digestion and reduce the glycemic impact of meals, which is critical for insulin resistance and metabolic health. All this, and they're delicious, soft, easy to eat, and versatile. Perfect for any senior dealing with low appetite, chewing issues, or medication-related nausea. Now let's talk about a food that might be the gold standard for aging well. Wild-caught salmon. This isn't just dinner, it's therapy on a plate. Wild salmon is packed with omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, which reduce inflammation, protect your heart, and keep your brain sharp. For older adults especially, this isn't optional, it's essential. EPA helps resolve chronic inflammation. DHA supports your neurons and prevents cognitive decline. Together, they protect your most vital systems, heart, brain, and metabolism, and it doesn't stop there. Just 1 6-ounce portion of wild salmon gives you 35 to 40 grams of high-quality protein. As we age, we need more protein per meal to stimulate muscle repair and prevent frailty. This is called anabolic resistance, and salmon is one of the few foods that can help overcome it without spiking your blood sugar. Plus, wild salmon brings vitamin D, selenium, B12, and even astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that supports your eyes, heart, and mitochondria. And because it's wild, not farmed, it's low in toxins, free of antibiotics, and rich in natural color and flavor. This is the kind of food that does a lot of work with every bite. It's not just healthy, it's strategic. It protects against aging from multiple angles at once. Add salmon to your weekly rotation, even just twice per week, and you're making a powerful investment in your future health. Now, in a world drowning in processed fats and misleading food labels, there's one fat that has stood the test of time, backed by history and science: extra virgin olive oil. This isn't just a cooking oil, it's a powerful therapeutic tool for protecting your heart, your brain, and your aging cells. The secret? Oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that's incredibly resistant to oxidation, unlike the unstable polyunsaturated fats found in seed oils like canola, corn, or soybean oil. When fats oxidize in your body, they create inflammation, damage your arteries, and speed up aging. But olive oil resists that and even fights back. It's not just about the fat, it's about the polyphenols, plant compounds with anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and even gene-modulating effects. One of them, oleocanthal, works similarly to ibuprofen, but without the side effects. These compounds literally calm your body's inflammatory pathways at a cellular level. We're not talking vague benefits here. We're talking about 30% reduced risk of heart attack or stroke, as shown in the famous Walprudin study, where older adults who consumed a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil saw real drops in cardiovascular events. But that's just the start. Olive oil has been shown to support blood pressure, cognitive function, and even protect the brain from Alzheimer's, thanks to compounds like camoleuropin, which help clear amyloid plaques and reduce oxidative stress. That matters because cognitive decline often starts silently, years before symptoms appear. This oil fights that process now. But here's the catch: not all olive oil is created equal. You want fresh, cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil, ideally stored in dark glass bottles, harvested within the last year. Why? Because the polyphenol content, the good stuff, degrades over time and with heat. And that peppery or slightly bitter taste, that's not a flaw. It's a sign of potency. A good goal? 2 to 4 tablespoons per day. Drizzle it on salads, roasted veggies, even your protein. It's satiating, stabilizing, and nourishing, all without spiking glucose or feeding inflammation. Now let's talk about a food group that's often overlooked, but might be one of the most powerful allies for aging well: non-starchy vegetables. Think spinach, kale, arugula, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, zucchini, celery, cucumbers, peppers, vegetables that are low in carbs, but rich in fiber, micronutrients, and antioxidants. What's so special about them? They offer bulk without burden. They don't spike blood sugar, they don't overload the liver, and they don't contain anti-nutrients in amounts that matter, especially when cooked. Instead, they deliver one insoluble fiber, which keeps digestion moving and prevents constipation, a common issue with age. Soluble fiber, which feeds your good gut bacteria, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which reduce inflammation and even support brain health through the gut-brain axis. Plus, non-starchy veggies are essentially free of fructose, a sugar that, in excess, can drive fat buildup in the liver and raise disease risk, especially in insulin-resistant individuals. These vegetables skip that issue entirely. And about those so-called anti-nutrients, cooking methods like steaming or sautéing reduce them naturally. Unless you have a specific autoimmune or gut disorder, these concerns are vastly overblown. Now let's talk micronutrients. Leafy greens, like spinach and Swiss chard, are rich in magnesium, folate, and chilled potassium, 3 nutrients most older adults don't get enough of. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower offer sulforaphane, which helps your body detox, boosts antioxidant enzymes, and even supports anti-cancer activity at the DNA level. Here's the real magic. Non-starchy vegetables make meals more satisfying. They add volume. They help you feel full on fewer calories. That's critical for aging adults trying to manage appetite and maintain a healthy weight without feeling restricted. How much do you need? No need to overthink it. A few cups a day. With variety, mix it up, leafy, cruciferous, colorful, cook them in extra virgin olive oil or serve them raw if tolerated. Combine them with protein or healthy fats like avocado to enhance nutrient absorption and flavor. These aren't filler foods, they're foundational. They lower inflammation, support the gut, stabilize blood sugar, and deliver key nutrients your body needs as it ages. So when you look at the big picture of healthy aging, olive oil and non-starchy vegetables are like the quiet heroes. They don't shout, they don't trend, but they work mechanistically, reliably, and sustainably. And in a food landscape filled with processed traps and empty calories, these foods still deliver on their promise every time, absolutely. Here's Rude White segment 4. Rewritten and paraphrased in your emotionally warm, fast-paced, and educational tone, fitting seamlessly into your 30-minute longevity-focused script. Now, let's talk about what I consider the cornerstone of healthy aging: high-quality protein. As we get older, our bodies go through something called anabolic resistance, which simply means your muscles stop responding as well to the same amount of protein. What used to be enough in your 30s or 40s, it doesn't cut it anymore in your 60s and 70s. You need more protein per meal, and you need the right kind. Let's start with a food that's been unfairly demonized for decades. Eggs. But not just any eggs. Pasture-raised eggs. These are nutritional powerhouses. Each egg has about 6 to 7 grams of complete high-quality protein. But here's what makes them extraordinary for seniors. They contain all 9 essential amino acids, especially leucine, the amino acid that flips the switch on muscle growth through the mTOR pathway. Older adults need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to trigger muscle protein synthesis. You can hit that by eating 4 to 5 eggs, a totally realistic and satisfying meal. But eggs aren't just protein. The part we were told to fear is where the real treasure is. Choline, theine for liver and brain function. Lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect your vision and reduce the risk of macular degeneration. a leading cause of blindness with age. It's vitamin D, which supports your bones, immune system, and even your mood. And what about cholesterol? No, it's time to rewrite the story. In the context of a low-carb, anti-inflammatory diet, dietary cholesterol is not your enemy. For most people, it barely impacts blood cholesterol and may even support hormone production and membrane health, especially as we age. But not all eggs are equal. Pasture-raised eggs from hens that forage naturally contain more omega-3s, more vitamin E, and a far more antioxidants come than conventional factory farmed eggs. If you're eating eggs regularly, and you should, go for quality. Now, what if you need protein with fast, maybe after a workout, maybe in the middle of a busy morning, maybe you're just not hungry enough for a full meal? This is where whey protein isolate comes in, a precision tool for seniors focused on muscle preservation and metabolic health. Whey isolate isn't a bodybuilder supplement. It's one of the most effective and digestible forms of protein, especially for older adults. Why? It's rich in leucine, hitting that anabolic threshold fast. It's rapidly absorbed and making it perfect post-exercise or during recovery. It's low in lactose, making it easy on digestion, even for sensitive stomachs. And it's virtually pumped carb and fat-free, which means it doesn't spike blood sugar. Yes, it's insulinogenic, Maya, but that's a good thing here. Protein-stimulated insulin in a low-glucose environment isn't harmful. In fact, it helps shuttle nutrients into muscle tissue, not fat. It's whole anabolic, not adipogenic. But, and this is key, you want clean whey isolate. No sugar, no fillers, no cheap concentrates. Look for cold processed, third-party tested, isolates with minimal ingredients. This isn't a milkshake, this is clinical grade fuel for muscle. Now, how do you use it? Simple. Add a scoop, about 25 grams of protein, to water, almond milk, or a smoothie. It's quick, easy, and can help you hit your protein goals without needing another full meal. Let's tie it together. The aging body doesn't just need more protein, it needs smarter protein, strategically timed and biologically potent. That's why pasture-raised eggs and whey isolate buying are such valuable tools in your nutrition plan. This isn't about building beach muscles, it's about preserving your independence, holding your grandkids, getting up without help, staying sharp, staying steady, staying strong. So for optimal aging, build your meals around high quality protein. Use eggs as your go-to whole food staple. Use whey isolate as your backup plan when life gets busy. And always aim for 3 balanced meals per day, spaced out to support muscle synthesis throughout the day. Because aging doesn't have to mean shrinking, weakening, or fading. With the right fuel, you can stay whole, vital, mobile, and powerful well into your 80s and beyond. All right, let's shift gears and talk about something that seems boring at first glance, but is quietly one of the most impactful strategies for healthy aging: non-starchy vegetables. Now, before you roll your eyes, this is not just about eating your greens because they're healthy. This is about understanding why these foods are so powerful, especially for older adults who are dealing with insulin resistance, sluggish digestion, inflammation, and declining energy. Let's make it simple. When we think about what the aging body truly needs, we want foods that feed the gut without feeding disease, add volume without spiking glucose, deliver micronutrients without stressing the liver or raising insulin, and keep us full without the extra calories. That's exactly what non-starchy vegetables do. I'm talking about things like Leafy greens, spinach, arugula, kale, Swiss chard, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, hydrating crunchy types, cucumbers, celery, peppers, zucchini, asparagus. Most of these have fewer than 5 grams of net carbs per 100 grams. That makes them metabolically safe, even for people with impaired glucose tolerance or type 2 diabetes. Now, let's talk in fiber, because this is where the magic really happens. Fiber isn't just about regularity, it's an active biological player in your body's systems. Insoluble fiber adds bulk and keeps things moving, critical for seniors facing constipation. Soluble fiber becomes prebiotic fuel, feeding gut bacteria which produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Butyrate is no joke. It strengthens the gut lining, reduces inflammation, and even influences brain function through the gut-brain axis. In short, your gut health drives your immune system, mental clarity, and inflammation control. And guess what? Non-starchy veggies support that system without the trade-offs. Unlike high-fiber grains or beans, which often spike blood sugar in older adults, non-starchy vegetables deliver the benefits of fiber without the carbohydrate burden. That means no crashes, no insulin surge, and no gut bloat. Now, let's bust the myth. Some people worry about anti-nutrients like oxalates or lectins in vegetables. And yes, these compounds exist, but the fear around them is quite overblown, especially in people without autoimmune or severe digestive issues. Cooking, steaming, sautéing, roasting dramatically reduces most of these compounds. And for aging adults who actually need more minerals, not fewer, the net benefit of eating vegetables is overwhelmingly positive. Let's highlight a few nutrient standouts. Spinach and Swiss chard, folate, magnesium, potassium, broccoli and cauliflower, sulforaphane, indole 3-carbinol, powerful detoxifiers and anti-cancer compounds, peppers and radishes, vitamin C and phytonutrients that protect against oxidative stress. And here's a bonus: volume and satiety. Older adults often struggle with appetite swings. Non-starchy vegetables may fill the plate, stretch the meal, and create a feeling of satisfaction without packing in calories. This is vital for weight control and avoiding malnutrition. In a low-carb or ketogenic diet where energy-dense foods dominate, veggies add balance. They keep you full and hydrated, reduce cravings and slow digestion, which can even lower glucose response to an entire meal. So how much should you eat? There's no hard rule, but aim for 2 to 4 cups per day across a variety of types and colors. Rotate your veggies to get a full spectrum of nutrients. Think dark leafy greens, crunchy raw options, and roasted cruciferous varieties. And here's a tip: pair your veggies with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. Not only does that boost flavor, it also enhances absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and carotenoids like lutein and beta-carotene. Now, some low-carb purists might say vegetables are optional. I disagree, especially for older adults, because we're not just avoiding disease, we're building resilience. Non-starchy vegetables lower inflammation, nourish the gut, support mitochondria, improve nutrient density, increase satiety, reduce glucose variability. They may not be flashy, but in the background, they're doing the heavy lifting quietly, efficiently, and consistently. So yes, make space for salmon, eggs, and liver, but let non-starchy vegetables be the foundation. Not because they're trendy, but because they work in Let's bring it home with what might be the single most important category of food for aging adults: high quality protein. Now, I want you to really hear this, because this isn't about bulking up or eating like a bodybuilder. This is about staying strong, maintaining independence, and slowing physical decline as you age. Once you pass 50, especially after 60, you start facing something called anabolic resistance. It means your body becomes less responsive to protein, and you need more prime juice of it to trigger muscle repair and maintenance. And here's the truth: muscle isn't just about strength, it's your metabolic engine, your glucose disposal unit, and one of the biggest predictors of how well you'll age. So how do we fight that decline? We start with one of the most powerful, misunderstood, and underrated foods on the planet: pasture-raised eggs. Not just the whites, the whole egg. Each egg delivers 6 to 7 grams of complete bioavailable protein, with all 9 essential amino acids in exactly the right ratios. And what makes eggs even more powerful? The presence of leucine, the amino acid that directly triggers muscle protein synthesis through the mTOR pathway. Now, here's a practical target. To overcome anabolic resistance, older adults need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal. That's about 4 to 5 eggs, and that's it. A delicious, simple, easy to digest meal that switches on the muscle building machinery your body needs. But the magic of eggs doesn't stop at protein. Egg yolks, which were demonized for years during the low-fat craze, are actually nutritional gold mines. You're getting Klinfei, critical for liver function and brain health. Vitamin D supports immunity, mood, and calcium balance. Lutein and zeaxanthin protect your vision from macular degeneration. B12, vital for nerve health and red blood cells. And healthy cholesterol. Yes, I'm healthy, because dietary cholesterol is not the villain it was made out to be. In fact, for older adults, dietary cholesterol can support hormone production, stabilize cell membranes, and enhance brain function, especially when inflammation and sugar intake are kept low. Here's the catch: not all eggs are created equal. Pasture-raised eggs have more omega-3s, more vitamin E, and dramatically higher antioxidant content than regular store-bought eggs. So if it's within reach, go for pasture-raised. You'll taste and feel the difference. But what about those days when you're not hungry enough for a full meal, or post-workout when you need something fast and effective to recover? That's where whey protein isolation comes in. Not a replacement for food, but a strategic tool in your longevity arsenal. Whey isolate is one of the most efficient bioavailable endogenous protein sources out there. It's high in leucine, 2.5 grams per serving, fast absorbing, spikes amino acids right when your muscles need them, low in carbs and fat, ideal for blood sugar stability, easy to digest, even for those sensitive to lactose. But don't settle for junk. Look for cold processed, third-party tested, no added sugars or fillers, just clean, efficient protein. And here's something a lot of people misunderstand. Yes, whey protein spikes insulin, but that's not bad. Insulin isn't evil, it's a rebuilding hormone. And in the right context, like post-exercise or in a low glucose environment, the insulin spike helps drive nutrients into muscle, not fat. That's called nutrient partitioning. And it's one of the key advantages of protein-heavy, carb-light diets. So let's simplify. Eat 3 protein-rich meals per day. Include At least one high-quality protein source per meal. Use pasture-raised eggs when possible. Supplement with or whey isolate if needed, especially after strength training or during fasting windows. Because when you prioritize protein, you're not just feeding your body, you're preserving function, supporting your brain, regulating glucose, and resisting the frailty of aging. In a world full of anti-aging gimmicks and expensive supplements, the humble egg and a scoop of whey protein may be two of the most powerful investments you can make. Simple, effective, and built for longevity. And there you have it, my friends, from the power of protein to the protective magic of healthy fats. From nutrient-dense superfoods like liver and wild-caught salmon to the quiet giants on like non-starchy